The LinkedIn Ads Job Applicants campaign objective can be an easy way for companies to promote open job opportunities. As we're walking through the campaign setup of this objective, we're going to focus mostly on the 4 ad formats. There are pros and cons to each of them. Some of them make you post a job on LinkedIn that is tied to your company page. A few other formats allow you to send users off-site, whether it's to your own website or other third-party sites that are posting your jobs. We'll go through which ones might be best for you, how they will look to certain users, and most importantly, I will focus on the one ad format that I think is the best for this campaign objective that will give you extra metrics when reviewing performance. So let's hop into LinkedIn and we'll get started. Before you go ahead and create a job applicants campaign, you probably want to make sure that you have a job posted on LinkedIn. So in order to start doing this, go to your LinkedIn company page, and this is just one example. Then on the right hand side, if you go up, you'll see admin tools. Let's click on that. And then within the drop down, you can post a free job. Now we're going to see in a little bit that your first job posting will be free. If you want to have multiple job postings on LinkedIn, you're going to have to start paying for it if you want to create more than one job post. So let me choose this. You can see the 5 fields in front of you will all need to be filled in. Each of the 5 fields that you see in front of you right now are mandatory. So you'll need to fill in a job title. Next, you'll need to choose the company, and it's just going down and searching for the company name. I know this may seem silly to mention, but you have to choose a company that is connected to the ad account that you will be using to promote it. You'll see eventually in the ad creation, you'll have to search for the job name, and if that job isn't under the company that you're using within the ad account, it won't show up. Might seem a little confusing. Again, we'll see it in the ad previews. Next, you have a few options for workplace type. Employees must be on-site, hybrid work model, or pure remote. And next you see job location. I'm going to X out of this one. And there we see it says city or metro. This is because I chose on-site. If I switch it up, and let's just do pure remote, there we can see we can target by country or state. And just to clarify things, I'm going to hover over this question mark. And whatever you put in for employee location, it helps LinkedIn know where to show this open job position. So I'll just go back up, put it back to what I originally had. And there we see several options. And then you can choose the employment type. I just said intern, but there's volunteer, temporary, contract position, part-time, or full-time. So once you're good with all of the fields that you filled in, you can click Start Job Post. And then you'll be asked to fill in a variety of information about the job. So we see a description. I did not put this in. This was all default text that LinkedIn already had ready. Feel free to scrap it all, put in whatever you want. Then you can scroll down. I also did not have the specific skill selected. So you can go up and start adding different skills. I just typed in PPC and it gave me a few options. So go ahead and keep typing member skills based on what the user has filled in with their profile. It's another way for you to help LinkedIn put the ads in front of the right users. And if you look in the ad skills description, we can add up to 10 of those. I'm going to skip that bottom section over there and just continue. Next, you'll choose how you want to receive the applicants. Then you can ask some pre-qualification or screening questions. In this case, I'm pretending to look for another PPC specialist. Degree might make sense. Looking at specific tools might make sense. Certain technologies might make sense. But if you don't care about any of these, you can always X out of it. And then there you see a few options to add some default question templates, or you can see one of the newer features, you can create your own. So I could put something like, do you have experience working with clients? How familiar are you with Google Analytics? Certain things like that. If you want to make the process easier and be courteous, you can choose to have an automated rejection message sent to the user. I understand the wording on this one looks horrible, but that is because my company page doesn't have the best name. Yours would probably look a lot better. But if everything looks good here, you can click continue. And here normally you'd be able to promote the job. I can't right now because I already had another example created while working on this demo. So let me go back up and show you what I mean by manage job posts. And look at this. No joke. I was prepping for this video for about 5-10 minutes and already got 2 people applying. So no, the paid media pros are not hiring. I'm just creating a video. I'm going to have to delete this immediately after I'm done creating it, but it made me laugh. All right, so we have a job posted. Let's hop into LinkedIn Campaign Manager, walk through a campaign setup, and then we'll look at the different ad formats available for job applicants campaigns. I'm in the campaign groups view right now. Whether you're here or on the campaigns tab, let's just go and create a new campaign. Just to get it over with, I'm going to name my campaign, Paste that in there, select whatever campaign group you want, and then hit next. The job applicant's campaign objective lives under the conversions column. So we can choose this. Next, you would start setting up your targeting options just like you would with any other campaign. And Michelle recently had a video updating all the targeting options available on LinkedIn, and you could check that one here. So I might want to make sure that my location targeting matches the employee location that I put within the job post. I know I had a specific city in the first one that was created, but the one that I already had set up was the entire United States. So I'm going to leave this as is. There we see language settings. And now this is where promoting your ad could be more beneficial, because you saw organically we can only add up to 10 skills. But maybe you want to target people who are in certain member groups within the area, people who have specific job titles within the area. It's up to you if you want to try to poach employees from other companies, but these are all available options. So again, check out Michelle's video to better understand how you may be able to target a potential employee. Now, the cool thing about this campaign objective is that they automatically add your company as an exclusion. Because if you're trying to get more employees, odds are your current employees are going to closely match what you're looking for. So this is going to help exclude that your current employees do not see your job ads. This is assuming that all of your employees say they work for your company on LinkedIn. Understand not everyone will keep their profile up to date, but this is the best that we could do. Next, we see there are 4 different ad formats available for the job applicant's campaign objective. Single job ad, jobs ad, if you're listing more than one, a single image ad, or a spotlight ad. A spotlight ad is going to be the dynamic format. We're going to go through each one of these, but in order to get to the ad preview part, we have to finish the initial campaign setup. So I'm going to stick with single job ad. I'm starting with this one because I think this is the most valuable job applicants format, and I'll explain why soon. But down below, we see that you can only choose LinkedIn placements. Since the job post lives on LinkedIn and your company page, you can't use third-party publishers, so that makes sense. But then you'll choose your budget, potential start and end date, and then we get to the bidding portion. By default, the optimization goal will be landing page clicks, and you can change it, but I don't recommend it because the other option will just be impressions. Sure, there's going to be some value for having as many eyeballs on it as possible, but you want people to see it and apply to the job. So work on getting landing page clicks. Leave that one as is. Next, you're going to get to bidding strategy. It's going to choose maximum delivery, but you can change it to manual if you want. Of course, they're recommending a really high CPC. You can do what I do, bring it down to $1 and see what the minimum is. It's all going to be different depending on what your targeting options are. In my case, I didn't really add any additional targeting. I think I'm going after everyone in the United States right now. If you want, you can add additional conversion tracking. And then let's click next to start looking at the ad formats. If you're new to LinkedIn, I will tell you that every ad format needs to live within its own campaign. So if you want to test out the 4 different ad formats for a job applicants campaign, you're going to need 4 different campaigns with 4 different budgets. If you don't have multiple jobs open, well, that knocks off one of the formats right away. So let's go up and create a new ad. We're going to start off with the single job post ad. And there you see the preview off to the side, but it's pretty straightforward. You're going to see the logo off to the side will be your company page logo, and that's going to be the same thing for the job post. There's not going to be a difference between the two. The company name from your page, again, is going to be up here in bold, as well as down here, and then the location that you selected for the job post. This part right here that says join our engineering team, that's not pulled from the job description when you were creating it. That's going to be your introductory text. And then when you go down and look for the job, just start typing in keywords that you used within the job title. Since I don't actually want to pay and promote for having multiple job listings, it's easy enough for me. I only have the one created. And that is why I said earlier, you have to make sure that the job that you create is on the company page that's tied with your ad account. We have worked with clients that have had multiple pages, whether it was different divisions of the company, different countries or languages, technically within the same company, whatever it is, you just have to make sure that you're using the right company page and ad account. And then you would just go on to create it. The second ad format is a multiple jobs post ad. Now, since I was only allowed to create one within my company because I didn't want to pay for more, not sure if I can get to this preview, but let's scroll down and see what we can do. All right, this is good. I'm glad they let me look at it because now we're looking at one of the first dynamic ad options. And I did briefly talk about this one a little bit more in the video I made about dynamic ad formats. You could check out that video here. So you can see in the headline, you can add macros to really customize the experience. We're pulling in the first name of the user who's seeing the ad, and then it's adding the company name. So this ad headline is what we see right here. Jane, it's just the example name they gave this profile. And then there's my company name. The image spot where we see Jane's image will pull the profile image of whichever user or person is seeing this ad. The image right across is going to be, by default, your company profile image. But if you look over to the side, we can X out of it and add something else. We get more custom options with this format. If you go back up and look at my company name, it's too long. So I'd have to come up with something else. And then there, for some ad formats, you can see we can add a custom call to action. I can't use the careers at the company name macro version because I don't have multiple jobs within the company page. But then we see a few default options, and then you can create a custom label if you want to. So this is just one display. If I hop to these 3 buttons over here, I can look at a few different options. So here we see potentially one ad at a time. If it's on the specific jobs page, we see the format changes a little bit. And maybe one of the most appealing views, if you have multiple jobs, is the jobs of interest. Maybe your targeting options are broader. You're just looking for multiple people within this specific field. List all the options and let the user decide which one might be best for them. And there we see this one shows the careers at macro version because it's actually showing the multiple jobs at once. The third ad format for job applicants campaign objectives is a single image ad, probably the most familiar ad format on LinkedIn. So let's scroll down, go to the ad preview again, and there we see the typical ad format. Nothing new there. Your intro text, your URL, your image, your headline description, and call to action. I know I said it already, but if you're just going to use a single image ad, you might as well just use the traffic or conversion objectives. Because if you're sending them to your website where you have your own job postings listed, hopefully you have conversion tracking set up for those actions. That action is set up as a conversion within LinkedIn, and then you can optimize towards those traffic or conversion objectives instead of just the landing page or impressions options that we get within this objective. So nothing too special here. And the last option will be a spotlight ad. You can see with this option, when you select this format, they automatically change the language setting to all. And then they say that they're going to translate it, but you can go up and switch it back to one specific language. I can't say how well their translation works. I've never used the auto translate. I've always stuck to just one language. So we'll leave that up to you. But one last time, let's scroll down so we can start looking at an ad preview. And here's the other option for us to customize an experience. First, you can choose to add a background image. If you do, you see it needs a very specific size, 300 by 250. It's really not that big. You're not going to be able to put a huge message in it at all. However, sometimes adding just a simple color can really make your ad stand out. I mean, look at the colors of LinkedIn right now. A lot of white with some blue. It's pretty much going to be the main color scheme for the user experience. So if your company colors are pretty different than blue and white, sometimes adding in just a solid color image, a bright green, a bright pink, whatever, of the 300 by 250 can make your ad stand out. Next, you can add your headline. Now, my computer remembers exactly what I used for that dynamic ad video, so I'm just going to include that. Just like the multiple ad post, you can use macros for your ad headline. I'll change the company name to something that actually fits this time. Next, I'll add in a company image. Before I go to the call to action, notice how this is my headline. Jane was pulling in the macro of the user's first name. We can customize the call to action. So now instead of join now, I say apply now. Something for you to test with multiple different ad variations. And there we see a destination URL. It's up to you if you want to send users to your website or send them to the job posting URL on LinkedIn. Now, I know I said in the single image ad, if you're using the destination URL, might as well use a different campaign objective. And that's fine, but the Spotlight ad gives you more customization and custom call to action buttons that you can't get with the single image ad. Now, the one I said I actually liked the most was the single job ad. And that is because I really feel that that one fits this campaign objective the most. You'll see if you watch the dynamic ad video I mentioned, you can use the Spotlight ad format in several campaign objectives, not just the job applicants objective. So if I hop back up to the single job post version, it may not look the best, but I still feel it fits the objective and it gives you the opportunity to use more features. Let me show you. As we said during the campaign setup, landing page clicks is going to be the main result of a job applicant's objective, unless you select impressions. So those landing page clicks will be your key results. The reason I like the single job ad format the best for this objective is that we get additional columns. So instead of performance, you can go down and select job applicants. And to slide over a little bit, now we see 4 additional metrics or columns. First is job apply clicks. how many times someone clicked on the apply button on all the ads within the campaign. There you'll be able to see the number of job applications that were submitted via the campaign, the application rate, and cost per job application. The cost per result will still show you landing page clicks. So looking at a cost per result doesn't really help in terms of applications. You'll need these additional columns. And I'm going to stress it again, these job application metrics or columns are only available if you choose the single job ad format. So you may like all the additional dynamic features by some of the ad formats I've shown you, you're not going to get these additional metrics. That is because we saw in a few of them, you're not necessarily sending those users to the LinkedIn post of the job, you're sending them to your website where you have the job posted. If you are linking users through another site that's not LinkedIn, you'll still be able to see clicks, just not any of the application metrics. The applications metric uses a 30-day conversion window. Anything over 30 days will not be counted and won't be visible within these columns. But yes, you still can go up to your other columns and select most of these other options. And that's pretty much it for the job applicants campaign objective. If you're looking to recruit, this could be another way for you to reach a much more qualified user using some of the great targeting options LinkedIn has versus the job recruiting sites that are all out there. The single job ad format is going to give you the most metrics, but you may like the customization features from the dynamic ads. Good luck testing it out. And as always, if you have any questions about this particular campaign objective, let us know in the comments below.
Thanks for watching our video. If you found it useful, give us a thumbs up below.
We release a new video at least once a week, so if you want to see more from the Paid Media Pros channel, be sure to subscribe.